my life. And you do that to a lot of other people too. And most importantly, you're an Otago person through and through, even though you're living in Christchurch now. Did you get a buzz out of the Renfrew Shield?
Yeah, huge buzz. It was obviously, growing up, watching a lot of the Shield challenges and that, falling so close. On many occasions to see the boys lift Shield the other day was obviously, I felt very proud, even though I guess, had nothing to do with the rugby side of it.
Only lasted 9 days, but it didn't matter.
9 great days by the sounds of things.
Yeah,
Spoke to my brother the other day. He said it was the city was fire, so that's great.
You were, in some people's minds, almost an All Black. They were saying you could have been one. Did you get in the South Island secondary school side ahead of Dan Carter at first 5/8?
Yeah, I certainly was never going to be an All Black. The rugby, for me, I really enjoyed rugby. I thought, I loved the camaraderie that goes with the sport, and obviously the tough challenges and physical challenges it puts on you as well. But my talents were certainly never in rugby, and those guys who may have picked that team certainly might have got that one wrong. But
you did get ahead of Dan.
Only for a very brief game, I think it was.
Well, it was huge in your life, sport. I recall your dad, Stu, playing for Otago because he was so small was one of the reasons, and he could give the ball a belt as well. How big in your family, how big at the school you went to?
He is very small. He's getting smaller as well. He's going to give me a serve for that later on. But look, cricket for me, growing up, obviously, in Otago with Dad playing for Otago as well. Both my brother and I were constantly around the Otago team and around, Dad's mates as well, and learned a lot about what cricket means to, I guess, our family, but also, the sport, how great the sport is as well, and similar to rugby, I guess, the camaraderie that goes with it.
See, the other thing that I'm so proud of you about is that you went to King's High, and it was always the blokes up the hill, the Otago boys that had the big bats and everything, flash and everything. But you followed a lot of players who played a little bit like you. Keith Campbell was a guy who could smack the ball all over the place. And you look back for a school on the mudflats, it's produced some damn good cricketers. Yeah,
and it's starting to really, gain some momentum as well as a school. I think the current rector down there is doing a brilliant job, and they got some great personnel involved too. So hopefully, we continue to see our old school continue to develop on a bigger scale.
Well, let's get into the Champions League, because that's what you're just about off to there, and hopefully Otago will do well at it. When I look at your side you're taking away, it's the improvements that have been made, and probably no one more so than Nathan.
Yeah, I think we were a really good team. Last year, I wasn't able to play last year with New Zealand commitments, but the guys won every game in the T20 competition, and obviously, thoroughly deserved to carry that title. And boys left today. I'm going to join them in a couple of days as well over in Sri Lanka for a camp prior to our tilt at the Champions League. But I know everyone's excited. We've got some homegrown talent down there as well, and people who obviously thrive on representing Otago, which is great.
Well, Nathan, as a cricketer, he's developed a lot, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a very, very good cricketer, I think. In the shorter version of the game, his impact at international level has been brilliant. I think he obviously brings his bowling and his batting, but I think he's most dominant in the field, and he makes such a big impact to our team when he's playing well.
Yeah, and he gets a buzz out of it too. He's somebody who plays with the enthusiasm that obviously you guys always have had for the game.
Yeah, he's certainly got that enthusiasm. Where his character is one of fighting qualities, and obviously I know him incredibly well, but I think a lot of the guys within the team as well certainly they look around when times are tough and look at someone like Nathan as well, and know that he's going to if in doubt, he's going to take the aggressive option, which is great.
And we see other players improving. Like the last time you went away to a Champions Trophy, I would suggest that Hamish Rutherford, Champions League, Hamish Rutherford wouldn't be half the player he is now. Look at him. Yeah. Like he'll win you games, this guy.
Yeah, he's fine, yeah. I think Rudd's development in the last 12 months or 18 months has been, it's been insane, really. That innings against England, which kick-started his international career, was one that everyone that was at the ground sort of witnessed and saw how classy this guy is, and Well, he's got a huge future in this game, and not just for New Zealand, but around the world as well. And he had a good stint over in the UK just recently, and I'm sure he would have learned a lot from that. So looking forward to seeing how he goes in the Champions League as well.
And you've got other guys, like he's a homegrown product, and for a long time, incidentally, I claimed him for King's High because his father went there. And of course, he went up the hill.
Can't believe he was about to go up the hill, to be honest.
Cannot believe that was even allowed. Now, then you've got guys that come in from outside, and I think that Wagner epitomises the spirit that you believe a team should have.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's one of the guys that you'd have bowling for your life if you had to ever have that situation. I think his, I guess, well, the skills that he's brought to the New Zealand team as well, and the qualities that he possesses has certainly helped out some of the younger bowlers too. I think his ability to bowl long spells and keep running in and bowling quicker almost at the end of the day than what he is at the start is qualities that will certainly serve him well. So it's obviously good to have him involved as well.
Yeah, well, you're always trying to build a certain culture in a team, and I guess that's what team sport is all about. So tell me, as captain of a side, what's the environment that you want, and what's your mission?
I think, firstly, it's got to be created by many people rather than just one person's idea. I think, you know, the leaders within our group and the people who are obviously trying to sell the vision of the group have settled on wanting to be a part of something special. And I think we've got some excellent players in our country and guys who can certainly dominate for periods on the international stage. It's a matter of trying to get that more consistently. And what we're trying to create in the team at the moment is a culture where you want to play for your mates and you want to achieve something really special during the time that you've got in the New Zealand jumper. And it's not long, so we want to ensure that we make it a memorable one, and we also encourage people to develop in their lives as well as cricketers as well. So
yeah,
it's hopefully it's an environment which is progressing and we're starting to get where we want to get to.
there was a lot of shots then of fielding and catching, and I look back at what Stumper Rickson did when he was coach. One of the things that he established was good spirit in that team by making sure it fielded well. And fielding is the thing that you do collectively. Yeah. The rest of the game you'd probably play individually. But fielding is something that everybody's involved in, and it helps build that culture, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's one thing you can't control as well, I think. Obviously, batting and bowling, you're going to have your days out and you're going to have days where things don't go quite so well. But I think your fielding shows your attitude and shows your willingness to participate and to get in the contest for your mates. And that's something that we pride ourselves on as a team. We're fortunate we've got some outstanding fielders, and like some Martin Guptill and those sorts of boys are brilliant fielders. So that certainly helps, but that's something that we try and continue to uphold as well, as that we are going to be a very, very good fielding team who wears our heart on our sleeve around the field.
And as captain, you're going to have to inspire people. So both in Otago and hopefully in New Zealand, we're going to have a player that, well, he attracts even more attention than you do. So Jesse Ryder going to Otago, you knew about it, you knew everything that was involved even before he got down there. What are you going to try and do with Ryder? Do you treat him specially?
I think you treat everyone specially. You obviously try and get to know the person, and then assist them in working out what makes them tick and how the environment's going to help them, and then they obviously reciprocate.
Well, you know
by
what makes him tick now, Brendon, because you've opened the batting with him. You know this guy well. So in your mind, you've already sorted out how you're going to assist him. I was going to say handle him, but I think it's the wrong term. But how you're going to assist him. How are you going to do that?
Well, I think it's up to Jess really. I think it's a huge move for him to have made the move down to Otago and to be a part of a culture which is small and it's caring and it's dynamic as well. And I think he's going to have to move with that culture too. But he's certainly shown the first signs of it by making the move down and making that commitment to the team. And I know that he's excited by it. I did have a small hand in it, but not a great one. It was more down to Jess and his people that wanted to make the move. How am I going to help Jess? Just try and provide him with as much support as possible and understand that Jess is going to make mistakes at times.
Yeah.
But he is not just a rare talent, but he's also a bloody good bloke too. And he's had his challenges, but he's still got a lot of years left in this game and a lot of opportunity to really make it worthwhile as a cricketer, and then also what follows cricket as well, and that's the development of him as a human being too. So, but I'm excited